What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with my segment, Boxingego's First Look. Now let's take a look at Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte. This is a great fight. Now, the reason I believe this is a great fight is because it's a good domestic rivalry. The heavyweight division is starting to shake up. You got Klitschko and Fury. You got Deontay Wilder as a champion. And you have an exciting young man named Anthony Joshua. And this is a meaningful fight. So I want to take a look at some of the vital statistics. We'll do the tail of the tape. And the thing I like about this, again, this is a domestic rivalry. There's some bad blood between the two. There's been some trash talking. Dillian Whyte believes Anthony Joshua is fake. They have a history together. And it's a fight that needs to happen. And unfortunately, in the world of boxing, sometimes you get these types of rivalries. And for whatever reason, the fights aren't made. Like Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. People have been talking about that fight for years. But this is a domestic rivalry, and we're getting it when both fighters are still young enough to compete. They're not considered out of their prime. They're both undefeated. They've both looked good in recent performances, and this is where we're getting the fight. So thanks and shout out to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Promotions and Boxing, for putting this together. Now, as far as Dillian Whyte, he beat Anthony Joshua in the amateurs. They had headgear on. He knocked him down, and it's a video you can find on YouTube right now. Make sure you search that. It's a good fight. You should watch it. And that was an early lesson or an early test for Anthony Joshua before he turned pro. And now some people think Dillian Whyte has the advantage, the edge, the psychological edge, because he knows he defeated and knocked him down, hurt him in the amateurs. And Dillian Whyte has an 81% knockout ratio in 16 fights. And this is something some people don't know, is Dillian Whyte is also, he was in the mixed martial arts before he really focused in and settled in on boxing. He was a British kickboxing champion. Now, let's take a look at Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua also undefeated, 14 wins, 14-0, all 14 by knockout. And the thing I like about Anthony Joshua, he's always in freakish shape. He's massive. He's big. These are two big guys, 6'4", 6'6". And a lot of people are comparing Anthony Joshua's explosive powerhouse knockout style to like a Mike Tyson. That's obviously the comparison people think of when they think of explosive, powerful knockout artists that are heavyweights. And we want to see what he's made of. So far, he's been lightly tested in terms of competition. This is a big step up as far as I'm concerned, because again, this is a guy who holds an amateur win over him. It's a guy with 81% knockout ratio, also undefeated. He has a fighting background. So this is going to be a big test to see if Anthony Joshua, AJ, can overcome and put his demons to rest from what happened in the amateurs and who's going to stay undefeated. Anthony Joshua, also a little factoid, he was suspended from his amateur UK team for possession of weed with the intent to supply. So got in a little bit of legal trouble, and he credits that to realizing like, oh, I got to really focus in on boxing. What am I doing with my life? And then since then, he's been disciplined and more focused on what matters, which is his boxing career. And then another fact is he sparred with the dominant champion, Vladimir Klitschko, who had a lot of good things to say about the young fighter in Anthony Joshua. Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Both fighters are undefeated, Anthony Joshua being 14-0, Dillian Whyte 16-0. There's a 2-year age difference. Anthony Joshua is 25 and Dillian Whyte is 27. Now, this is another important statistic, the height. They're both big men, but Anthony Joshua a little bit taller at 6'6" and Whyte is 6'4". They both fight at heavyweight, so you know there's no subclasses like heavyweight, super heavyweight. So I imagine both these guys are going to be in the 230 to 260 pound range when they weigh in. They're both big, they're both bulky, massive heavyweights. Now the reach, Anthony Joshua has long arms, 82-inch reach, and I could not find anything that confirmed Dillian Whyte's actual reach. So I apologize. I don't know what his reach is. So considering Anthony Joshua's freakish size, I would say he most likely has the longer reach because he is the taller man. It doesn't always work like that in boxing, but I think it's safe to say because based on what I've seen. But let me know what you guys think. This is an excellent domestic rivalry. One person's gotta go. who wins this particular fight. Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, Bad Blood, rematch from the amateurs, and drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next video, it's Ego signing off.